Hello and welcome in everyone. This is the monthly update video. I missed the month of May when it was appropriate at the time, so I'm going to try to combine both May and June into this video, and I'm going to do my best to try to keep things a bit more concise and keep things moving along just to not have this video go too lengthy. So let's get right into it. For games played on stream in the months of May and June, I'll try to do these roughly in sequential order, but we started off with Pilot Wings on the Super Nintendo. This is a game I maybe dabbled with occasionally back when it was newish, especially playing on like friends' Super Nintendo at the time. But this is the first time I really kind of like dove into it and gave it a serious play. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. Music's nice and chill. Kind of late stage of that game was pretty difficult, but we eventually got through it. The parachuting in particular, I just never fully figured out how that was supposed to work. I kind of got like some rough ideas, but I was not great at it. But pulled through and got that one on the officially defeated list, and looking forward to Pilot Wing 64 at some point in time in the future. Next up after Pilot Wings was Star Wars Episode 1 Racer on the Nintendo 64. This was a one stream redeem, and yeah, I had a good time with it. I feel like a one stream is like a good amount of time for that game for me in particular. Had fun with it. Definitely didn't like beat it or anything, but it's fun to go back to that game. I think back in the day, I played that a lot on the PC. I don't remember it well enough to compare and contrast the graphics compared to the Nintendo 64, but at the time it felt like it was really cutting edge, which it probably was, but in reality it may look identical to how the N64 looks now. I have no idea, but yeah, I had a good time with that one, and yeah, I enjoy playing that one every once in a while, and that was a good time. Next up was another one stream redeem, Eight Eyes on the NES. I wanted to try that one for some time, and it was very enjoyable. Kind of gives you some Castlevania vibes with that game, which is not necessarily a bad thing. You got your bird friend that follows you around. That's pretty awesome. And I learned that if you play that game two-player, the second player can control the bird, which that sounds pretty rad. I would like to see that in action at some point in time. I went a little long on that stream because I felt like I was really close to defeating the game. There was also like a puzzle element at the end. Looking over to my clipboard, aka Clipstradamus, that I took notes and figured out the final puzzle in that one. But that was based strictly on the clues in the game, so that was cool that was able to do that and figure that out. But yeah, Eight Eyes, very enjoyable. And next up on stream was Bubsy in Fracture's Furry Tales on the Atari Jaguar, or Jaguar, if you will. This was the first Bubsy game that I've like truly like sat down and tried to get into. Was it the best one to play first out of the Bubsy series? I can't answer that. Um, yeah, I had a little difficulty with the Jaguar controller on that one. I was having some issues. To get a little bit more into it in the pickups, but I did pick up a Bluetooth controller adapter that enabled me to use some other controllers, and I ended up playing with a PlayStation 4 controller, which still worked perfectly fine. Even like the number pad business at the bottom, I was still able to do that, which was really cool. But yeah, I mean, overall, there was some difficulty in the later stages of it for sure, but got through it. Definitely didn't like 100% find every little nook and cranny for every secret by any means, which that's never really been appealing to me in games in general. But yeah, it was fun to get the Atari Jaguar out again. And that was kind of like shortly. I'm trying to remember. Let me look real quick. I think that was, yeah, I had just played Alien versus Predator just right at the end of April, so the wheel was like, nah, you're gonna keep playing some Atari Jaguar, and like, okay, and there we are. So Bubsy in Fractured Furry Tales. And next up was kind of a one-off event of Snoopy's Silly Sports Spectacular for a speed run. I did that over on Junkyard Dave's channel. Shout out to Junkyard Dave for his NES Day marathon. Yeah, I think that went perfectly fine on that. I had a pretty decent time for the bronze percent run. That was maybe, I think it was like 6.5 minutes or so on it. So it was pretty quick, and yeah, I think it was well received, and I had a good time with it. And yeah, I like doing stuff like that where I can kind of collaborate on other people's channels when opportunities come up, and it's things I'm doing are interesting to look at, and I think well received from all who watched on that one. So I had a good time with that one. So thank you again, Junkyard Dave, for having me on NES Day. Skipping the bigger game that occupied a lot of time for now, but I did something a little bit different. It was a Lego stream. Uh, for Christmas, I got both the Lego Game Boy and a Lego Genesis controller. So I started off with the Lego Genesis controller. You can see here, there's like this little cool stand thing. I will try to get this closer. And the back has kind of a Sonic scene on it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun putting this together. Let's see, I think it goes like that. Yeah, this is probably like legit the first Lego thing that I've done in probably since I was a kid. I don't honestly remember the last time I did that, but yeah, had a different kind of setup over my kitchen table where I mounted a camera to this boom mic and pointed it straight down. Had some music playing. I think this took me about 3 hours to put this together. And if you were watching closely, I had it like on my shelf next to the Righteous Rapmaster rocket ship from Toe Jam and Earl. And this is like the perfect size thing to kind of fit on a shelf like that. And yeah, this was great. I'm looking forward to doing the Game Boy Lego build, which will be very, very soon after this video is uh, recorded. So I don't know if I'll have enough time to give you a heads up on that one, but uh, yeah, this is a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed doing that. And now I'm gonna go put it back right there, and you'll see it magically appear about now. Speaking of Toe Jam and Earl, I only got to participate in 2 races during the months of May and June. In those 2 races, there were 3 participants in both of them. The first race, I finished third out of 3, and the second one, I got first out of 3. Yeah, I mean, there's always fun doing that for me, and my time's been a little sketchy on being able to participate those in the past 2 months for a variety of reasons. Um, but yeah, I mean, I will always do those if I'm free on Saturday evenings. But even if I'm not participating in them, they always happen Saturday evenings at 8:30 Eastern. And yeah, let me know if you would like to watch those and how I can guide you into doing so. I also did a Dragon Warrior randomizer race pretty recently towards the end of June. I'm still waffling if I want to participate in the DWR summer tournament that I've done the past couple of years. I have like a good time with it. I did very, very poorly in it last year, which like that's fine. I don't have a problem with losing by any means. But I'm a little bit more worried that I'm not sure I can do like the proper time commitment schedule with whomever be racing. But there's also sort of the thing in the back of my mind of like, do I want to do a time commitment when I'm likely going to lose at the same time too? But again, I don't have a problem with it, but it's just I don't know. I think other things might be like weighing a little bit more than participating in that tournament. I think at the minimum, I'll still at least like volunteer my time to do some of the broadcasting for that as well. But yeah, that should be coming out very, very soon. And yeah, DWR is a good time. I've always enjoyed the community. very nice people in there, and they're very welcoming and helpful. And yeah, it doesn't feel toxic to me, which that's a very refreshing thing to find in this day and age. So, but yeah, I had a good time with the Dragon Warrior randomizer race. I finished, oh, technically wasn't last, but like I was the last place finisher in people that didn't like DNF on that one. But it was kind of like what I was expecting. But there we go. At least I got like a DWR stream in, and it was good to kind of revisit that as well. And the big stream thing from the past couple of months, Mario Open Golf on the Famicom. It started off as a one stream redeem from Sir HC Man or Cirque Man. Shout out to the Cirque Man. Uh, he did it for 4 streams, and I kind of knew this was going to happen. I haven't gotten through the game as of this recording. Um, but it was one of those kind of like rare circumstances where the game redeemed was like something I've been like wanting to try myself for quite some period of time. And in this case, as of this recording, I've streamed that game 10 times. It's absolutely brutal for how it works. I mean, basically, like you start off with one course that you're allowed to play, and it has like a threshold of if you get plus 16 on your score at any point in time on that first course, it's an automatic game over. There's no saves or anything like that. And then it gets like progressively more difficult on the score leniency as you get through it. So I'm on the UK course right now that I got to like on the 3rd stream of it, and I've still not passed that one as of the 10th stream of that game. It has a threshold of +2. So if you get +2 at any time, automatic game over. Uh, I'll be playing like a clip right now without the sound on it, but I had a heartbreaking fail on hole 18 of UK where I missed a putt. It's still been haunting me that I missed the one. If I would did like one click further on it, I'm pretty sure I made that putt, and then game would have been done on like stream 6 or 7 of it or something like that. But that's not happened, so still at it. And that has been happening in July so far as of this recording, and will continue to happen until that game is defeated. But yeah, it's a lot more. It's very similar to NES Open Tournament Golf, but it is a lot more difficult because of like that structure, and then just like the wind and the slopes on the green are like a lot more aggressive compared to NES Open Tournament Golf as well. But yeah, I will keep at it until I get it, and that concludes everything that I have streamed in the months of May and June. For games that I've played off stream in the past couple of months, we'll start with 2 Point Campus, which I showed as a pickup from a previous video. I don't remember which month that was off the top of my head, but I had my fun with 2 Point Campus. I was playing the Switch version of it. Yeah, there's some like nice, funny humor in it. But I mean, basically the concept of it is you're a person that is managing a campus, in this case, like a university, um, and you're trying to get like a different star rating. You have to manage, budget. You have to do things to make students happy. There's like specialties for the different types of colleges that it presents to you. Yeah, it was just I wanted something kind of chill, and it was for the most part. Um, I think I got through maybe like 2 universities on that one with the 3-star ratings, and I got to like another one. Then it started like getting a little bit more into like, oh, you need to train your staff or your teachers to specialize in certain things, and it kind of became a little bit more micromanagey, and I think I wasn't into that at the time. Um, and I think that's kind of like, I'm gonna put this down for now. But yeah, I mean, I had my fun with it, for sure. I think that game might be a little bit better on a PC versus a console. Mostly because like when you're placing new rooms or building furniture or whatever in that game, it's the analog stick isn't quite as precise. Like there's no sort of like snap technology like, hey, I want this desk to be perfectly flush against the wall or something like that, or this plant or whatever. Um, I think I would have liked that if there was an option in the game I to do that. I never found it. But yeah, it kind of made it so like, it's, if you want things to look like as flush and like symmetrical as possible in some cases too, like that kind of feature would have been nice, and just the analog stick it just isn't as precise for me personally compared to a mouse. But yeah, I had fun with it, and then I was ready to move on. Then I did move on to Blazing Beaks on the Nintendo Switch. I got this from Red Art Games in a sale. I don't remember how long ago that was, but I mean, basically, a cute little. It's got like some cutesy graphics for a twin stick shooter roguelike. You play as like different types of birds, like ducks. I think there's like a penguin. They all have like kind of different attributes. There's some different like firearms that you can get through the game as you're playing it. I have not defeated a run yet in Blazing Beaks. I think this was maybe like very late May, early June when I was playing it, and I haven't had a chance to revisit it yet. But yeah, it was just kind of like one of those things like, hey, look at all this stuff in here, play your damn games. And that's just kind of what it was for this. But yeah, I liked it so far. I'm not sure I love it. But I do like roguelike games, and that kind of fit the bill. Get it? The duck bill. Uh, just fine for me. And yeah, I might revisit it some more in the future, but we'll see. But that's Blazing Beaks on the Nintendo Switch. And Biggie offline, I've been playing this a lot with my buddy Eight Punches. I mentioned it a little bit at the beginning of, or excuse me, at the last video I did for a monthly update. But Absalom on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. We have been playing the absolute crap out of this game. It's so good. I really like the art style in this game. We have defeated the game several times at this point, but uh, well done to the developers of the game. They keep dangling these little carrots in front of us. They're like, well, you could get this if you keep going and do X, Y, and Z in the game. Like, all right, and I'm hooked on it. The art style on it's great. It's a it's like a roguelike beat 'em up type of thing. And yeah, I like all four of the characters. I kind of like waffle on which ones I like playing more. It just depends on mood at the time, and it's fun experimenting with different types of builds as well. Um, but we're at a point too where I guess it's a spoilery. But you can have these things the game calls ordeals that kind of gives like special rules for uh, a run. Like we did one last night as of this recording. It was a glass cannon build where like your physical and your arcana damage do 1,000% damage, but you also take 1,000% damage and you get hit. And it was fun. We kind of failed one of them, and I think we tried again. And uh, yeah, I just found like a build with Carl that I just basically kept a distance, like with his rifle, and added a lot of chaos elements to it. And it just like absolutely was wrecking like everything. Although it had a little bit of problems on the very end of it, but managed to get through. But yeah, that's Absalom. We're going to continue to play this, I think, probably until we get every single little thing unlocked in the game. But yeah, having a lot of fun with that one too. And yeah, we'll continue that one well into the future. Then for Atari Age stuff, I'm going to kind of do a rapid fire of this one and not really talk too much about them, just in interest of trying to keep the video a bit shorter. I'm looking at my list here, but on the Atari 2600 for Atari Age High Score Club, Firefly, Sorcerer, Star Fox. Not that Star Fox that you're thinking of, but Atari 2600 Star Fox. Sky Jinx. Barnstorming. Grand Prix. Dragster. Air Raiders. Tron Deadly Discs. Masters of the Universe He-Man. Adventures of Tron. And a prototype Rocky and Bullwinkle. I'm still kind of just hanging in there for the most part in Atari Age. I finally missed a week, probably the first time in several years. But it is what it is, and yeah, I think the season should be wrapping up maybe within the next month or two, then moving on to the postseason tournament, and we'll see how that goes. But that concludes everything I played offline. Lots of pickups in the past couple of months, mostly from me attending a convention called the Illinois Game Con that takes place in Bloomington, Illinois, or maybe it's Normal, Illinois. It's like a dual city type of thing. Bloomington slash Normal, Illinois. I've been going to that convention for off and on for several years. I really like it. It's mostly vendor focused, which is like perfectly fine for me. Uh, but no, I'll get a little bit more into it. But first, I'll cover like the three digital games that were picked up within the past couple of months. The first of which is Raven's Watch. This will be the next game that Eight Punches and I will play after we decide we're done with Absalom. I don't know too much about it yet. Other than it's roguelike. I think he's on board with roguelike stuff now after Absalom, so we'll be going down that path pretty soon. Next up is Spelunker HD Deluxe. I picked up the Switch version. Uh, it was on sale for very, 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 very cheap. And shoutouts to GeForce, big Spelunker addict's not the right word. Enthusiast, and let's go with enthusiast. Spelunker enthusiast. He kind of made me aware of it, and I like the idea that it has like a multiplayer thing in it, and I'm sure I will play that with him at some point in time, uh, and in some capacity. But yeah, so I got that on the Switch. And then this was a freebie game on Steam called Gravity Circuit. I'm not going to claim I know that much about it. It looked cool from what little bit I saw from the trailer, and it was free, so we'll just go ahead and grab that. And then next up, we'll go over some controller things. So sorry about hitting the microphone. I mentioned it while I was playing Bubsy, but the Jag BT, this Bluetooth adapter. Yeah, there we go. That's right there. Let's go right there with the lighting. The Jaguar Bluetooth adapter. You can just plug this straight into your Atari Jaguar, and then you have to. Uh, there's like a little bit of a learning curve on like how to get things working, but basically any like modern controller, Xbox, Switch, PlayStation, whatever, this can hook up to it. And then I hooked up a PlayStation 4, and that was great. Yeah, there's something wrong with my one Jaguar controller that I have where I couldn't like use up, and one of the buttons wasn't working correctly, and I tried cleaning it several times. I was like, okay, this became necessary, so got this from Stone Age Gamer, and yeah, this is if you don't have original controllers and you will play on hardware, like this is a great alternative, and you still have capabilities of uh, for the number pad, like it you can bind them to like the shoulder buttons or like the control sticks or whatever. Uh, and so that's a great way to do it. And speaking of controllers, I picked up a couple of PlayStation 3 controllers. Yeah, for a good price. I think like both of these are maybe $20 each. Um, this red one, I didn't look that closely at it, but like yeah, you can kind of see on the bottom of the analog stick, it's a little scuffed. It's not, doesn't feel too bad, but it's maybe not ideal, but still happy to have that. It was sort of like similar with the Jaguar. Like I only had like one controller for it, and then I had only had one controller for the PlayStation 3. And so yeah, these came along at a good time and at a price that I could stomach. So got some backup on this one. This black one in particular, this was way better than the one that I already had and feels in much nicer condition. So this is probably going to be my driver on that one going forward. So that's all the controller related stuff. There's one more hardware thing, but I'll save that for the end. Everything else here, there might be like one or two exceptions that I didn't get at the Illinois Game Con, but we'll just kind of rapid fire through these and I'll try to talk very briefly about them. So, first up is Roger Clemens MVP Baseball and the NES. Admittedly, I don't really like this game. This game's extremely easy to find as well. I've had sort of like a mini goal for a long time for my NES to collect every single baseball game that exists. This was one that I didn't have after I started recollecting again in maybe the late 90s, early 2000s. But I was basically not willing to pay more than $1 for this at any point in time, and essentially I got this like in a bundle with some other stuff at the convention, and this essentially became free. So, but um, I should say too that I didn't mention this during the games played on stream, but like all the stuff I'm about to show, most of it, I did a stream where I tested all of it on different consoles and whatnot to see if they work. Um, so that might be up for a little bit as of the recording of this video. So there's that. Roger Clemens MVP Baseball. On the Wii U, Lego City Undercover. I've always kind of heard this was kind of gives you like a Grand Theft Auto vibe to it. And I got this like pretty cheap as well. I think I have the manual in here. There's a registration. There's like some online code. Yep, there we go. Get that out of here for now. Turn that upside down. Yeah, so an actual like CIB, and then I think that was kind of what sold me on this. I've been kind of like thinking about it for a while, and then actually saw like, oh, this actually does have a legit manual in it, and that was like, yep, that's enough for me to finally pull the trigger on that one and pick that one up. Alrighty. Do I want to go? Let's go here. Giving the Sega Dreamcast some love. I got Armada for the Dreamcast. I did, yeah, and I think I also concluded that like composite on stream was okay. I've not been playing any Dreamcast stuff at all because I've been waiting for a component solution that from HD Retrovision. But yeah, I think the composite worked better than I thought, so I may get Dreamcast into my rotation officially. But anyway, Armada, this was kind of described as like Diablo meets twin stick shooter kind of thing in like space. So what little bit I dabbled with it, it seemed cool, and happy to dig into that one some more in the future. And then next on the Dreamcast, we got Draconis Cult of the Worm. Uh, Kind of a nice looking 3D action RPG-ish kind of thing. Cameras was a little janky in like what little bit I played of it, but yeah, this seemed cool. Um, yeah, that was kind of my goal going into the Illinois Game Con is like kind of disc-based stuff, or I don't really have ODEs for them yet. I was looking for stuff like this, so this was kind of on my radar. And then next up is Evolution, the World of Sacred Device. This is an RPG. I was also looking for something called Evolution Worlds on the GameCube, which I didn't realize at the time that I think it was technically like this game and then the sequel, but like on the GameCube. Um, yeah, I did not hardly play this at all because I don't know, playtesting RPGs is not amazing to do. Plus, you don't want to get spoiled on stuff. So, but yeah, I'm glad to get this one up. It was not very expensive. Oh, there goes my mouse. That's fine. And then, all right, let's go over to the PlayStation 1. So this was probably the most expensive thing I got at the convention. Uh, Dragon Warrior 7. Yeah, it's complete. Actually traded one of my Switch games, the Grandia HD collection, basically straight up for this. So that worked out nicely for I think both sides on our trade. But yeah, I still need to play Dragon Warrior slash Quest 5 and 6 before I get to this one. I think both of those are on the uh, Super Famicom, so that at some point I will get to those and with like an English translation patch. But got this one ready to go afterwards. Um, Whenever that happens, and I've heard like lots of things like you're gonna spend a lot of hours on that one, which might be fine. um, the next up, we got Fighting Force on the PlayStation 1. It was kind of a cool like 3D beat 'em up. This collector's edition, I didn't know what that meant at the time, but I can kind of see on the back here it says part of a set, not for individual return or exchange. So I think this was like part of like a different like a collection of games from Eidos that came in like one package, but whatever, I don't care that much. But yeah, it was cool from what bit I played with it. I think I on that stream it held my attention longer than I was expecting for like just trying stuff. And then this was not on my radar at all, but I found the sequel to it, Fighting Force 2. This one didn't seem as good from what little bit I tried of it, but we'll wait and see on that one. And then next up, Gekio Shooting King. It's a shoot 'em up on the PlayStation 1 from Natsumi. This was pretty cool. I don't know if this was an arcade release originally or not, but it kind of gave me like that type of vibe for sure. What I played, and you may or may not know I really love shoot 'em ups, and this was at a price that was not too bad for me as well. So glad to pick that up. And then been looking for this for a while and finally found it at the convention. Got Spider on the PlayStation 1, or Spider the video game. You play the role as like a tiny robotic or like a mech android spider. The the plot is kind of wild. Um, I think like in the intro, like it shows that a scientist that was like working on like these spiders, he got like knocked out or something, and his brain got transferred to control this spider. I mean, look at it. It's got a knife on the end of one of his arms, and there's like a gun like up top here as well. But yeah, it's kind of like a cool looking like 3.5D style platformer. I think that was the biggest appeal for me on that one. So that's all the PlayStation 1 games. And then on the PlayStation 2, this is a little bit of sort of not planned, but Flipnik Ultimate Pinball. It was on the cheap. Yeah, this was pretty trippy on what bit I played on stream. Uh, yeah, CIB on this one as well with the manual and everything. All the PlayStation 1 and the Dreamcast were also CIB, but um, it was yeah, this one like definitely worth investigating a bit deeper too. Uh, we'll try that out. I see Katana's sniffing around down here now. Like, what's going on in here? And then some OG Xbox getting some love as well. First up, a Blinks the Time Sweeper. Like, speaking of cats, look at that kitty. Look at that kitty on there. Only on Xbox, which I think is actually still true. Uh, don't quote me on that though. Ooh, there's a receipt in here still from somebody bought this in 2003, I think, for looks like $20. That's cool. That's fun to find like old receipts and in games like this sometimes. But yeah, CIB, yeah, it seemed pretty neat from what little bit I played too, and yeah, looking forward to kind of diving into some OG Xbox. And then next up, Sudeki on the Xbox. I actually did get this at a GameStop of all places. I don't go in there very often, but I just happened to like poke my head in one day and like, I don't know what this is, and they had it for like $12 or something. Um, but yeah, I think this is action RPG type of thing. Uh, yeah, I didn't really like play it all that much, and I'm not gonna try to like speak too much about it since I don't know. But yeah, that was cool to get that. I still got some sticker things on the back I need to get off of it, but there's Sudeki. Top Spin for the original Xbox. I believe this was the original Top Spin game. Seemed to have like pretty good tennis physics in it from what bit I played, and yeah, it has everything in here as well. I always like a good tennis game too. Like stuff that doesn't take itself like too seriously, but like has good physics, and I think that's this first one falls under that category. Then we got Voodoo Vince. This one, I think, probably out of all the Xbox stuff that I picked up, this one maybe has the most appeal to me for trying out. You play as a voodoo doll that's oh, you were trying to like rescue somebody got, I think your owner got kidnapped or something, and she has inspired the powers of voodoo into her voodoo doll, Voodoo Vince, and Voodoo Vince does voodoo-y things and action platforming to try to help rescue her. Yeah, this was this was pretty cool from what bit I played on stream, and yeah, I'm looking forward to diving into that one some more in the future. And then lastly, from game pickups, there's still one more thing after this. Zionine, I think that's how you say this. Zionine. Uh, this is a it's a shoot 'em up. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Einhander from what I play. Like it's mostly like 2D, but it kind of does some 2.5D type of things. This was maybe one of the other than Dragon Warrior 7. I think this was maybe the next most expensive thing that I picked up at the Illinois Game Con. Hope I didn't put my receipt back in Blink, so I will do that shortly. But yeah, I had a good time with it. Went with my buddy Ethan as well. Yeah, he picked up several things as well, and yeah, it was just a fun time. I really enjoy that convention, and I will continue going to it in the future, assuming like circumstances allow me to do so. And then one last pickup. This is a biggie. It was kind of unplanned, but I'll just show the box for it. I don't have the console like handy, but PlayStation 5 Pro. Um, so I just happened to be like browsing my credit card reward points, which is like something I almost rarely look at. And I had like a ton of them, and then like I saw they offered like a Switch 2 and the PlayStation 5 Pro. Like, so I basically got that for $2. Like I bought a PlayStation 5 Pro for $2, which is maybe like the biggest pickup slash savings I've ever had on anything. Um, obviously it has arrived. I've only played on a little bit. The only thing I played on it so far is like Absalom, but there's like some weirdness of like I'm learning about like PlayStation 4 versus PlayStation 5 versions of games now. I'm still having to play the PlayStation 4 version because I couldn't get the save to transfer over to the PS5 version. So we'll see on that one. But yeah, it's cool to get this. It's not been something I've wanted like really badly by any means because the PlayStation 4 has been like perfectly fine and serviceable for me, and that's how I feel about the Switch 2 as well. Like, yeah, do something that makes me actually want to buy the console, and it hasn't happened. But yeah, this one in this case too, like especially since this thing is like $900 as of this uh recording, like that's the way better like financial move if I'm spending my points. They're about the same like point cost in the system that my credit card company used. So yeah, PlayStation 5 Pro. I'll have to get the I'm actually debating if I want to get the physical disk drive for this. I'm sure I will at some point, but yeah, we'll see. But that's all the pickups. And that concludes the 2-month monthly update video for the months of May and June. I'll be working on the Lego build for the Game Boy very, very soon, as video may not even be out by the time that has happened, but I'll also be continuing with Mario Open Golf on the Famicom for the foreseeable future. And then after that, it'll be a shoot 'em up of some sort that I still haven't decided what I'm going to play. And yeah, looking forward to getting into the various one-off requests as well that y'all have done on Twitch. So yeah, come hang out anytime, and I appreciate y'all watching this video, and I hope you have a great rest of the day, night, whatever time it might be for you. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Later.